Get ready for some bigger changes to your weather pattern, including continued cooling and our next round of rain, even the potential of thunderstorm activity that holds off until we get to Saturday. Hey everyone, I'm Chief Meteorologist Darrell Whittinger from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center, and we're about to take a deep dive into your most reliable forecast, starting off with what it looks like right here and right now across the Tri-County area. We have tons of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and indeed some haze. Now there have been several either controlled burns or wildfires through the last couple of days, and that's put a little bit of smoke, a little bit of haze into the air. We're going to be talking about where some of those are, where we have some evacuation notices, and how the air quality is actually doing. So going from cameras straight over to one of those evacuation zones. This fire started up yesterday. It's the Pine Fire, and it's about 6 miles southeast of Post. So Central County, right on the northern edge of the Maori Mountains. And yesterday it was a level 3 go now evacuation. Today it's a level 2 be set evacuation. Outside of that, we don't have any more evacuation zones across the Tri-County area. The Aubrey Mountain Fire still holds a level 1 be ready evacuation that is on the State Highway 58 or the Willamette Pass in the lower elevations on the other side of the Cascades. And there was a new fire called the County Line Fire on the Warm Springs Reservation. That started up today. It hasn't grown much, only about 12 acres, and for a while we did have traffic was closed, was shut down on 26 going through the Warm Springs Reservation. But as far as I know, I think that has been eased up quite a bit. It's still slow traffic on the highway, on Highway 26, and some it looks like one lane is open, so depending on how heavy the traffic is through there when you're driving, it could slow you down a little bit. Air quality is sitting in the green. Both our hourly average and the real-time sensors that we have from the East Base Labs in Bend, Oregon. All good air quality. Now, switching gears, looking at satellite and radar. Just offshore, our next system is bringing a warm front this way, but we've been keeping it clear. There's no rain in sight, and even as this warm front pushes through our Tri-County area tonight, we're not going to see too big of a jump in temperatures. We are going to expect more clouds, but maybe a few sprinkles. Even at that, the mountains absorb most of the moisture with this warm front, so we're not looking at much for the high desert. Looking at the bigger picture, though, first, starting off with, this is infrared satellite imagery. There's an enhancement that really pulls out the cloud height, and it's not impacting us too much right now, but also on there is pressure. Those isobars are equal lines of pressure. Where they're stacked up tightly next to each other, that's where winds are a little stronger, and especially coming through the passes. But for the most part, we're still partially under the influence of a broad ridge of high pressure. One of them out over the Pacific Ocean into the tri-state area, the Pacific Northwest. Another one over southwestern U.S. That's what brought the thermal ridging earlier this week, but that has since flattened. And the flattening of that first ridge is opening the door for tomorrow's system to push through, starting with our warm front through tonight. Now, a quick look at water vapor imagery. This one is really good to see where there's a slot of dry air aloft or overhead, and we still have some of that dry air over the entire state. That's why we're not expecting too much from our warm front that's pushing through, but the cold front that rolls in Friday night and Saturday, that's going to pack a little more of a punch. Another dip in temperatures, more showers starting early Saturday, going through Saturday. It'll be off and on with periods of clearing and the potential of some thunderstorm development by Saturday afternoon. So let's go to the forecast model, and it shows where our system is. We have the warm front, the red one, the cold front, the blue one, and each one is going to impact us a little bit different. Tonight, the warm front pushes through. Not much in the way of precipitation. By Friday, we're sitting in the warm sector of this next system. Warm front is already passed. Cold front is bearing down on the coastline, and we have the potential of a few pop-up showers. A few. By Friday night going into Saturday, showers become scattered and then widespread, with periods of it pausing across the high desert. Through Saturday, we keep that chance of rain early. By the afternoon, some clearing, but also the potential of a few developing thunderstorms. And at this point, nothing looks to become severe or anything like that, just a few thunderstorms possible. By the time we hit Sunday, in and out clouds, a few showers possible with some of that lingering moisture, and then by Monday we start to clear out. So let's look at the GFS, our long range forecast model, and it shows that by Sunday night a lot of that clearing is already underway. We're back to more sunshine by Monday afternoon. By Tuesday, tons of sunshine, only a little bit of light afternoon clouds. Then by Wednesday and Thursday, we keep that sunshine rolling. No rain in sight. We're going to be under our next ridge of high pressure. But let's talk about the rain real quick, because by Friday at 7 a.m., not much on the map. Through the day, a few showers possible. Friday night and Saturday, the next system rolls in that blankets us with more showers across the high desert. By Saturday afternoon, some periods of clearing, and then the potential of a few thunderstorms. Looking all the way through the weekend, most of the rain is going to fall on Saturday, a few lingering showers on Sunday. Now, let's talk about how dry it is and some of the other conditions that are going to be impacting us other than the future rain. So relative humidity at the moment, very low. We're sitting in the teens with a few 20s, 34% in Sisters, not too bad. Would I like it to be less dry? Yes, but it is extremely dry. We are on the high desert, and temperatures have actually been running below average for this time of the year. Keep in mind some of these highs are holdovers from yesterday, but look at Sun River, 79 degrees as a high temperature. In fact, we're a little below that right now. So today we topped out in the lower to mid 80s with some 70s on the map, and 89 is the outlier in Warm Springs. In the last 24 hours, we've had some cooling. We're actually running between 5 and 10 degrees cooler than it was this time yesterday. Tonight, 50s and some 40s. By tomorrow, lower to mid 80s, some 70s on the map, and a few showers by the afternoon. So tomorrow, our UV intensity forecast actually comes down with more clouds in the forecast. We're looking at high UV intensity instead of very high, where we've been sitting through most of the summer. By Saturday and Sunday, that dips down to moderate, and Monday we start to rebound. Also, the temperatures start to rebound on Monday. Here's why. We have this cold front that's rolling in, and right now we're going to be looking at a forecast model variant that shows geopotential heights. It helps us hone in on where the low pressure is, a big blue dot over the northern Pacific, where the high pressure is, and what's happening between. I also drew some surface analysis on the map and put a couple words there to help you. So by Friday afternoon, a few PM showers are going to be possible, highs in the 80s with a few 70s. By Saturday, 70s with very few spots getting up to 80 degrees or higher. Showers are expected early, a few thunderstorms by the afternoon with some periods of clearing. By Sunday, in and out clouds, a few sprinkles left on the map as another weak front rolls in. So truly roller coaster temperatures coming down into the 70s and starting to rebound by Sunday. But by Monday, that's when we get more sunshine, the real transition day with temperatures starting their next warming trend. Meanwhile, today it has been gusty. Look at these gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour for most of the high desert. And actual wind speeds are 10 to 20 miles per hour, mostly coming out of the northwest. Now, through the next couple of hours, it stays breezy. Tonight, back down to a light, then a gentle breeze. By Friday, not too much in the way of winds. And by Saturday, only getting breezy at times in and around where thunderstorm development occurs. Meanwhile, for tonight, we're talking 50s and a few 40s on the map. It will be hazy with some periods of reduced air quality as we get into the warm sector of this next system, kind of trapping that smoke where it is. And so that's something we'll be checking tomorrow morning is that air quality. By Friday, looking at the 80s with some 70s, periods of clearing still expected through the day, but Saturday brings the real chances of rain. By Sunday, a few lingering showers, then we clear out, then we warm up. So the coolest day out of the next 7 is Saturday, and the warmest day is closer to middle than late next week when we're looking at once again returning to the mid to upper 80s and some low 90s, right on target for this time of the year. So a quick recap, your weather headlines for this August the 14th. A changing weather pattern is on the way. Cooling continues with temperatures well below average, especially on Saturday as those weekend showers start to roll through and we have that chance of thunderstorm development. Going past the 7-day planner, days 8 through 14, unseasonably warm and not much in the way of rain. Today, the latest drought monitor was released. This is what it looked like yesterday. Last week, there was some improvement where we no longer had abnormally dry conditions in the Badlands and in south central and southeastern Oregon. And today, it didn't change much. So it's still pretty much where it was. I think a couple of those lines moved just a little bit. And that's because we've been getting some rain in the last 30 days. Not for everybody. Most of Crook and Jefferson County are extremely dry at the moment. And that puts us close to average on either side of average for the last 365 days. So This is what it looks like right now across the high desert. It is warm, just not as hot as it was earlier in the week. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. It's at 5 and 11 on ABC, and it's 6, 7, and 11 on CBS. We'll see you then.